Well, I talked about, I've been busy with writing and I've been writing books. Now, I've done a lot in the last 8 months, and which I will be going back to. Right now I'm on a hiatus while I just take a break from it all. My latest books are these books. These are all these are actually a collection. So this book actually has these 3 books in it. So this is the collection. It's called From Twig to Spark. These are proofs. I've changed the title to be a little more vibrant. But this is the proof of the book. And I'm going to show you this. Now this is the paperback. The paperback is not cheap because I used high-end paper and color with the high-end paper. So I think it's like $34. It's there you go. This is a beautiful paper, kind of a matte finish, a beautiful print. And I have, this is 3 books in one, and this one is Illuminating Fables. So when you get this, you'll get Illuminating Fables, and the introduction. It's just a copy of the book, and I have the picture, these are all AI generated, and they're all AI generated using the prompt of the fable. So the fable was the prompt for all the pictures, and as I said, they're beautiful. I also put in request for the prompt is to make it painterly, and so this is painterly. So if you do write anything, even a short story or a poem or something, run the poem through. I use ChatGPT and run the poem through it, give it the poem, and say, do an image. And if you want it painterly or you want it in a certain style, abstract or whatever, you can say that, and they'll give you some ideas. In these, I just said, I gave them the text, and I gave them along with the title. So this is the second book is fully included in this, and this is 20 illustrations with 20 fables. Now, the other part of the book is, the first part of the book is called Summoning Fables, and this is how I chose to write the fables, what I did to write the fables. And what I did to write the fables, which you might find interesting, or maybe not, I don't know, is I used the Rider-Waite-Smith. I picked 2 majors and 1 minor at random, and then I put them, I wrote the story based on this. And I talk about the process in the book. In the introduction, I said what I did, how I did it. So I won't go into it now, but I had the pictures of the Rider-Waite-Smith. I also said some people, you don't need to use or know the Rider-Waite-Smith, or be aware of the Rider-Waite-Smith. If you do, it's a little easier. But if you don't, it's okay too, because we're really just looking at the images and your reaction to the images. And but I also included the title of the work. These are all majors, the majors and the minor. So this is the Devil, the World, and the 5 of Swords. And then I talk about impressions. Impressions are simply describing the card, what you see in the card. So I talk about each panel. Now here I said, image 1 is of an aggressive, angry individual. I gotta turn this. That's the devil. Well, you don't know. I mean, I know what a devil is in the tarot, but you don't have to know that. You can just look at the image. It could be someone's father or boss. That was my impression. That was my thought about it. The woman in the center is a free spirit floating in the air. Of course, this is the World card, but I saw it as you could also see it as a free spirit floating in the air. And then the last picture shows a young man ready to fight. And there's the Five of Swords. So that was what I had. That's what I thought. It was just very simple, pulling cards. You could do oracle cards, any kind of cards you have around. Playing deck cards, I guess, if you read numerology. Then you, so you put your impressions down. You describe each frame, each card. I use three. I use three for a reason, because three is creativity. But also, I wanted 2 majors and 1 minor for different, like, energetic levels. Then you talk about the conflict. So here I say, the father, so then all of a sudden I named this guy here as the father. Dark and immovable, sits, taking up all the space as the 2 other images look back at him. So you see how these images are looking back at him? So I brought that into my conflict part. Now this is the story. Troubling clouds are seen across the sky. There's troubling clouds. I don't know if this one here has the troubling clouds. He seems to be holding a man and woman hostage. That's typical of the devil. Oh, and they're hostage. They're in chains. They're in chains and they're vulnerable. So that's what I came up with. So then I wrote the fable. There once was a girl on the verge of becoming a woman who dreamed of a larger life than one bound by her father's house. He ruled over the family as if he were carved from stone. Horns of anger, eyes sharp with command. He believed chains were necessary, even if he never saw the way they pressed into her skin. One night, before the clock struck midnight, he rattled the knob of her bedroom. "A storm is coming," he bellowed. "We must go down to the cellar." But the girl did not move. Instead, she crossed the room to the window, unlatched the sash, and leaned into the night. The wind unspooled her hair like a banner, trees bending and snapping in wild arcs, as though the whole world was dancing against its bonds. "If you stay, Father," her father shouted, "you'll be left behind." She closed her eyes, uncertain, the blackness above offering no counsel. Just as she turned to shut the window, she saw movement below, a rabbit, white against the wet earth, ears quivering. It lifted its head toward her as if it carried a secret. The girl hesitated. Behind her was the cellar, heavy with her father's voice and the promise of safety bound in iron. Before her was the storm, the circle of branches and the silent invitation of the rabbit. Barefoot, she climbed through the window. The ground was slick, the wind fierce, yet the storm seemed to be part of the small creature's path. She followed each step away from the house, loosening an invisible chain. Behind her, she heard the door splinter, her father's roar swallowed by thunder. The rabbit led her through the trees that arched above like a great wreath. Lightning split the sky, circling her in sudden brightness, and she felt herself lifted. No longer a frightened daughter, but a dancer in the storm, body and spirit, joined in a rhythm older than her father's rules. And then I also put a little, like an inspirational thing at the end, lesson in the leaves. She followed a rabbit into the storm and found herself at last. So that was the story I wrote. And then I gave that to chat and asked for an image for that story. And let's find it. Okay. And here's the image that it drew. And they put in I asked for the title to be put in the image. So here you have, I came up with an idea. It was kind of using the tarot as prompts. And then coming up with describing it to myself, trying to see where the conflict would be, then writing the story, and then coming up with maybe a quote at the end to summarize. Now those are the two first books. One is about making writing the fable, and the second one is about illustrating the fable, and the third part is there's no illustrations in the third part except the picture of the book, is Transcending Fables. This is about storytelling and the history of storytelling, how it came about and where we are now with it. So I talk a lot of different things. I bring story from the very beginning into, later on, and how stories were told, and how they mutated over the years through religiosity and through nature. And then I went into the printing press and how, so it covers a lot about storytelling itself. But I also talk a lot about the spiritual nature of storytelling and how it is, I think, not only very healing to tell stories, but also very spiritual in nature to tell stories. You learn a lot about yourself. And so but there's nothing in here that would be, that's all straight text. So that is the 3 books. Now, this one, the print book. Now, if you get if you're interested in the ebook is just like the print book. It's got the full color and everything. And that is, how much is that book? Is it $2.99? Maybe it is $2.99. I can't remember what this, no, it's $6.99. This book is $6.99 because it has all 3 books. So this is $6.99 ebook and $34 if it's a print book. Now, should you prefer, or just want to try, you can also do get these books separate from the expensive book. You can just get these come in print and ebooks, and these are the actual books. They're much smaller. This one is just the Summoning Fables. It's just about how to tell fables, how I did it, and suggesting ways of how you could do it as well, using a deck of cards. I used the tarot. And then from there we went on to the illuminating of fables, and that's taking each picture, each fable, and generating a picture for it. So these are illustrated fables. These all come in ebooks, $2.99. The print books for these 2 are a little more expensive because of the color, but I didn't use high-end paper. So did I use high-end paper on this? I think I may have, actually. Yeah, this was the proof. It was a little too dull for me, so I changed the book itself into a high-end paper. So this is more expensive. When you do print on demand and you do color, you have a choice of on white paper, print on white paper, and then you can do on better paper, which makes the print, the color more vibrant, and that's what I did. You have both of these. The print is more expensive than the ebook, and then this one is the book about storytelling, and this one is also $2.99. And the print book is reasonable because there's no color in this. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is I'm giving away these ebooks for free as promotion, of course, but right now when I promote books, I have to pay someone. I have to pay companies to promote the books, and I don't mind paying them, but I'd rather try to do it myself, offer books for free. And if you're interested in the book, you just download it. So these are I'm not offering print books for free, but I'm offering all the downloaded, my ebooks for free, including this one. So this would be for free as well as an ebook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on this YouTube channel when these books will be available for free on those days. they'll be available for free on Amazon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have, with this video, I will have some dates set as far as when they'll be free. And then I hope to keep the video itself with updated dates that they're available for free. In other words, I haven't set the dates yet on this video. By the time this video gets published online, you'll see some dates where you can get these books for free. Now, they won't be every day, obviously. They'll be when I'm able to give them away for free according to my contract with Amazon. So maybe, certainly every month you'll get at least a day of a free book, this and this one, an ebook that you'll be able to download for free. And I want to put those dates in the description. So, and then as I continue doing this, depending if it sort of works, I'll keep changing the dates. So I can, put a couple of dates in for November, maybe the beginning of December, and then we'll see how that goes and see if there's interest. And then as we get into January, February, March, I can go in and put up more dates on the same video. I don't want to keep doing the same video over and over again, so I just keep changing the dates when they'll be available for free. At this point, I have so many books that I'm easily going to be able to offer free books throughout the year, and that's what I want to do. And it's not it is out of the goodness of my heart, but it's really a promotion. I mean, I'm hoping that people will download them, read them, and then be able to share them, purchase them for friends. Or if you like, you can tell them, she's got free books on her website. Just go look and check out the dates. So that is what I plan on doing. I know. Now these, this is the thing. This is a Wandering Mind collection. Now, these are the books I've been writing. They're short books. They run from 60 to 100 pages. They're on topics that I find interesting. And I've been doing them, Chronicles of a Wandering Mind. And then, as I was doing them, I now have 11 of these. So there's quite a few. But I want to do 50. And I already have, let's see, I have 11 published. I have another 10 that I want to do, but I don't know when I'll get to them. The first 11 is the ones I'm going to start advertising now probably while I'm writing Hattie Moon's next book. And because I have this, then it was suggested to me by chat that when you have a collection, you can then, if you have a lot of books of one kind, then you can put them in collections, which I thought was sort of brilliant. And it's all thematic. So I kind of thought about that. I should make a Fables one, and then I'll have a Wandering Mind collection. What distinguishes this book from that book as far as the covers is I'm putting a checkerboard floor on all of them. Of course, the cats are in every one of them. So there's this cat motif going on. The collections have the floor that's the checkerboard floor. They all have cats in them. And the covers are all generated by AI through prompting. It's been so much fun. And I love these little books. I love them. Okay, now, what else do I have to say? I have nothing to say except that I'll just leave this out here. Anyways, thanks for watching. And when you see this video, you'll have the dates that I'm giving these books away for free, ebooks, in the description below. And just, make yourself a little note of when it's going to be for free. I'll have the links, so just go right up there and get your book for that day. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.